Good afternoon and welcome to Let's Talk Success. My name is Desiree Dubois, founder of An Empowered Woman, which produces Let's Talk Success. And today I have the pleasure of speaking with Dr. Marcy Cole. Good afternoon, Marcy. How are you doing?
Hi, Desiree. Thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you for everything that you all are doing to empower women around the world. Thank you.
Well, you do a wonderful job at it yourself. Tell us what you're up to.
Well, I got my hands on a few pots, as many of us do here in Los Angeles. I have a holistic psychotherapy practice, which I've had for 20 years, and I have a community called First Tuesday LA, which is really about creating connection between women, both personally and professionally, through connectivity in a friendship capacity, business networking, and social service. And I have a nonprofit called cmama.org, which is really about bringing orphans and people without kids together. And we're actually on our way to Peru next week to go on our first journey to an orphanage to be of service there. So I'm very consumed and very excited.
Oh, wow, that does sound exciting. Thank you for doing that. What inspired some of those projects? You started again as your profession as a doctor. What inspired the First Tuesday and then now the nonprofit foundation?
Well, the reality is a lot of it was very organic. It wasn't like a strategy that it all happened that way. It just kind of played out that way. But Desiree, for many years I thought it was all separate, like all these areas of my life were separate.
Mm-hmm.
And then I realized that what they all have in common, and we all have this. Everything we're doing usually has a common theme. And for me, it's connection. So if I'm working one-on-one with someone, helping them connect to their heart, and what's really true for them, what they want to manifest. If I'm working with a couple, I'm trying to help open up the lines of communication. If I'm working in community with First Tuesday, for example, helping create a platform like you are of helping women find each other who are like-minded. And then, of course, the nonprofit helping kids in need with people without kids who would like to connect with them.
Well, you've been really successful almost everything that you've done. What would you say in our conversation about Let's Talk Success, now that we're really wanting to emphasize on that because we want to provide more motivational educational programming for women professionals and entrepreneurs. What have you found to be some of the key factors to your success?
I just want to say that, I heard someone say from a stage, I wish I remembered who, like, can you see the tip of your nose? And most of us can't. And sort of what comes naturally to you, you don't even see half the time. And so it's a wonderful question you're asking, everyone, because, and this is sort of off the cuff because I didn't prepare, but it's a wonderful question because oftentimes we don't stop and think, well, what got me here? I just off the top of my head right now, I would say tuning in to what felt like I was drawn to that. I luckily had parents that were always very encouraging and really held a space for me to follow my own navigation of where I felt drawn, and that's really important because we're really not in touch with our authentic path. We're not going to stay on that path. Either something's going to get in the way or we're going to check out. So I would say really tuning in to find what works. It worked for me, and the other thing I would say is that I'm giving lots of credit to my mom right now as I'm thinking about it, as you answer as you asked me the question, and I remember her saying, go for anything. You have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose, and all someone can say is no. So I had a very expansive idea integrated into my psyche about what was possible. And then I would say, you just keep going. When it feels right, you just keep going. That beautiful saying, again, I don't know who the author of this was, but don't stop 5 minutes before the miracle, You and I both know there's ebbs and flows to everything you create. And sometimes what you thought was going to be over here, you have to be flexible, might turn into plan B or an idea or a vision that you never even imagined. That actually that becomes a blessing in disguise.
I'm hearing that you're saying be passionate, be focused, and be flexible. And then that's very, very true, I think, no matter what occupation or what path you choose. Now, you've been also in the company of very successful women, other business women as well. Have you seen a common thread amongst them? Have you seen a common thread just amongst, as far as habits or...
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I think that, again, a mindfulness about what they're doing and what they want to do. And putting themselves out there. We've nothing to lose to put ourselves out there, asking for help and coaching. We all need that to look at, to get perhaps someone point out our blind spots, help us again navigate our way, and so. Yeah, and teams, and also delegation, of course, and teams. We can't do it all. Anyone who's built an empire did not put all the bricks up there by themselves. When we built pyramids, it was a big freaking team, and so we all need and deserve that to reach our full potential and success in our business, no question.
And so, what do you think about the current programming that's available as far as positive programming depicting women and women professionals and entrepreneurs or successful women, and what do you think that we should be on the path of trying to do about that, change that for those that are coming up behind?
Yeah, well, look, we live in an era, the good news is we live in an era, unlike our mothers and grandmothers and women before, where there's so much more opportunity, and that's the good news. And then at the same time, you have the level, the high executives in so many industries. It's still the exception versus the norm that they're women in politics, in media, in film, and lots of in corporate America, to a large extent. So I think what you're doing in creating a platform for all of us to come together to say, I see you, I hear you, I value you, and the world needs you. The world, each of us is an important part of this whole trajectory. And I love men. Got nothing against men. I love men. But as women, we're such extraordinary beings. We have such light. We have such love. We have so many creative ideas. We have so much to share. And so I say, the more opportunities for visibility and communication and collaboration, the better.
Very beautifully put. Now, what thoughts would you like to leave our listeners with today? Either empowering thoughts or a quote, your favorite quote, or some takeaways.
Yeah, you shared this with me the minute before we got on, and again, the first thing that came to my mind, I'm going to go with that, is that beautiful Goethe quote that says, at the point of commitment, the universe conspires to assist. So after you get a sense of what is in your heart and what you envision, and what you want to contribute, and once you have some plans and structure and team support, go for it, leap. That leap in the net will appear, because the universe, I believe, has our back, and there's so much potential within us and around us all the time for us to connect to.
Well, Marcy, I wish you such good luck in your trip to Peru. What do you intend to accomplish there when you ladies are going? What are you doing? You're going to go to an orphanage, or are you going to, what are you going to do?
Thank you for asking. We're one of the initiatives of CMAMA is a volunteerism trips, and this is our first one. So we are going to see the sacred sites, but our primary mission is to be of service to a group home for children that we vetted, we found, we chose, called Niños del Sol, which means children of the sun. And we're there to connect with them, learn from them, teach them, help support in whatever way we can, and look at and explore ways that we can stay connected. So it's like, this is a perfect example. At the point of commitment, the universe conspires to assist. I've planned, I've set up, we've got our group, and now you let go, and then you see what it organically unfolds, and that's the beauty of life.
Well, it's going to be wonderful, and you have our blessings and our best wishes. So safe travels, stay safe, and we'll look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Stay empowered.
Thank you, Desiree. Again, thank you for all that you're doing, and thank you for inviting me. I'm thrilled and honored to be a part of this community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.